Welcome back, nerds. We are back for regularly scheduled news, kind of. This episode has taken a while. But either way, welcome, nerds. Are you ready to have your brain pumped full of so much pop culture that you'll legally be classified as a Wikipedia server? Well, good, because you're about to be injected with the week's biggest headlines, well, the last 2 weeks approximately, and maybe missing a couple of days, directly into your frontal cortex. So welcome to the week in Nerdom. Welcome to the music news, where we celebrate the legends we've lost and side-eye the holograms that they keep trying to use to replace them. Grab a dubby, turn the volume up, and let's dive in, because this week's Metal World and all of the music news is actually giving us hope instead of just another cash grab reunion. In follow-ups and corrections, we have Dino Cazares from Fear Factory. He says that the new album was a, quote, huge collaborative effort with the new singer Milo Silvestro, which is great. Usually industrial metal is just one guy and a very angry laptop. But Dino's been through more lineup changes than most bands have albums, so hearing that everybody actually got in a room and wrote together kind of feels like the old demanufactured spirit might be back, and I am cautiously optimistic. All right, nerds, stop drinking battery acid. Drink Dubby. It's clean energy with zero sugar crash and no jitters. I am legitimately obsessed with the Cali cream flavor. It's like an orange creamsicle, but for your brain and your taste buds. They love it too. The s'mores flavor is basically dessert that gives you superpowers. It is dangerously delicious. You absolutely must try it. It is a unique energy drink experience unlike any you have ever had before. I can promise you that. Go to dubby.gg, use code GenerallyNerdy for your 10% discount off of everything in your cart, and your taste buds will thank you, because they deserve better. Ever so cautiously. Next up, we are talking about Ozzfest. Yes, it is returning. Sharon Osbourne has confirmed that Ozzfest is, quote, absolutely coming back, unquote, in 2027. She says, we're going to do it, and for the first time since the Prince of Darkness left us, the festival returns as the loudest, leathery memorial service in history. More pyro, more tears, the same amount of bad heads, and this one's gonna hurt so good. Picture the main stage at sunset with Crazy Train blasting while everyone raises a drink, or whoever is on stage, because obviously it's not gonna be Ozzy, but it's gonna be great. It's gonna be so beautiful and brutal all at the same time. Now that is what we have for follow-ups. Let's talk about new music and videos. I did a couple of reactions, so this section is a little bit smaller than it otherwise would have been. I am going to probably just keep cranking out reactions on the main channel, so if you're watching this on the secondary channel, thank you, but also go check out the main channel for the other things. But a new one that was noteworthy that I haven't reacted to is the Toadies. A new music video for the song Charmer just dropped, pure, gritty Texas alt-rock that kind of smells like 1995 dive bar and Bad Decisions. If you missed the 90s, hit play and thank me later. It's got the same kind of sludgy, sweaty groove that made Possum Kingdom a karaoke classic, but this one's a little darker, and the band grew up but never got therapy, apparently. That's the only new music piece that we're talking about. There is plenty of new music, but again, I'm going to try and do some reactions to it. Next up is tours and festivals. First, we have Rocklahoma. Slayer, Godsmack, and Papa Roach will be headlining September 4th through September 6th in Pryor, Oklahoma. Basically, the holy trinity of I definitely wore a wallet chain in high school is going to be on stage. Throw in the fact that it's outdoors and in Oklahoma heat, and you've got the perfect recipe for dehydration and lifelong hearing damage. So sign me up. God, I wish I could go. Flyleaf, this one's huge. I'm super stoked on this. Flyleaf, Lacey Sturm, is back for the 20th anniversary tour this July. Expect emotional screaming, crowd sing-alongs, and a lot of people suddenly remembering they have knees. I'm So Sick will be hitting live again after all these years, and it's gonna wreck people in the best way. Lacey's voice still cuts, she still has all of those chops, and potentially even more these days. Next up is Between the Buried and Me have announced a US tour starting May 15th, running through June 20th. It's perfect, you know, if you like counting time signatures until your brain files for divorce. These guys play progressive metal like it's math exam, and actually you want to pass this one. 17-minute songs with 3 key changes and a polka breakdown? Yes, please, sign me up. Then we have Louder Than Life was announced since we last spoke. Iron Maiden, My Chemical Romance, Limp Bizkit, and Tool are the big headliners this year. It's like someone hit shuffle on a playlist and the algorithm had a full-on panic attack. You've got the kings of British metal, emo kings, new metal kings, and the kings of 13-minute songs, all on one bill. I don't know who's booking this, but they deserve a raise and possibly some free therapy. Then we have Pennywise over on the punk rock side of things. They're going on tour this spring with Circle Jerks and H2O, so this is absolutely one you do not want to miss. Come for the circle pit, stay for the collective back pain. Nothing says I'm still punk like a room full of 40-somethings with mortgages throwing elbows to bro him, because that's exactly what's going to happen. Killswitch Engage, June US tour. It's a shorter one. They're going out with Machine Head. It's going to be loud, sweaty, and absolutely glorious. Bring earplugs and a change of shirt. The End of Heartache live without Howard is going to be crazy, but hopefully they'll surprise us again. I'm not holding my breath. But then add on Machine Head's Heavy Groove, and that's a bill that turns Tuesday night into a religious experience. That's for damn sure. Our final tour that was announced this week is within the last rough time frame, is the Sex Pistols North American Fall Tour has been rescheduled. This is the one that they canceled previously. We talked about it in one of the last episodes that we actually recorded. North American Fall Tour with Frank Carter. Again, no Johnny Rotten, but that's kind of a selling point in 2026, isn't it? Frank's got the snarl and the energy. We talked about this when we first saw that live video of him fronting them for an anniversary show. This actually could be legitimately dangerous in the best kind of way. That is what we have for tours and festivals. Let's talk about some regular-ass news. William Shatner is what we're talking about in the first piece of regular-ass news. Captain Kirk is dropping a heavy metal album this year, 2026, with Zakk Wylde and Richie Blackmore guesting, amongst many, many others, because metal clearly needed more dramatic spoken word pauses between riffs. It's gonna be so epic. If you've ever listened to the Has Been record, then you absolutely know. Anyway, I'm picturing Zack's pinch harmonics under Shatner's kind of energy, and either this is going to be genius or the greatest meme of all time. I'm honestly leaning more towards genius. Then, in other new music news, Metallica has added 6 more dates to the Life Burns Faster residency in the Las Vegas Sphere. Let me back that up a little bit, because we haven't talked about this previously, but Metallica is setting up a residency in the Las Vegas Sphere. Now we're up to, I believe, 12 dates, so that's, you know, however many weeks. I didn't see exactly the booking dates, but it's going to be epic, and the reason that they had to schedule 6 more dates is because the first 6 sold out so damn fast. Sphere is already legendary for its visuals. Now imagine one in the middle of an actual freaking sandstorm and the energy of Lars's marching drums, and I'm done. I'm selling a kidney to go to this one, absolutely. Next up is a really interesting piece for Twisted Sister. Sebastian Bach is going to be fronting for a select amount of dates on their next tour. It looked like he was going to be most of the dates, if not all of the dates. And the interesting thing here is Dee Snider has given his blessing. It's like Frankenstein's monster, but with better hair and much more hairspray. We're not going to take it with box pipes. The 80s kids are absolutely going to lose their minds. And then we have another Ozzy-related piece, and this one's a lot more directly related. Ozzy is getting a statue in memoriam. A 6-meter-tall Ozzy statue dropping at Hellfest this year in June. He may be gone, but now he can loom over the pit for eternity, just like the Dark Prince he is. And absolutely, that is going to be awesome. 6 meters of pure Prince of Darkness staring down at you while you're headbanging. That's the kind of metal immortality that we all dream about. Jacoby Shaddix is our next news piece, which I hate calling him that, but that's what we're doing. So, Kobe Dick, if you're nasty. Papa Roach frontman says he's a, quote, full-blown believer now, unquote. Time will tell if it sticks because, I mean, Head from Korn did it previously, so I guess anything's possible. But if Jacoby starts writing worship metal bangers, then I don't know, we're going to have to take some notes, right? That is what we have for the music section. Let's transfer things over to the gaming and tech section. Welcome to Gaming and Tech, where dropping $5,000 on hardware just to play a 2003 game in 4K is considered responsible adulting. So let's be real, we've all done that before, right? First, we have follow-ups and corrections for Gaming and Tech. Follow-up number 1 is the Wolverine game finally got some updates, thank God. And I believe there's a new trailer for it too, but we're not talking about that in trailers, so go find it if you can. I don't remember explicitly because I didn't put it in the notes. Anyway, I'm rambling. Wolverine Insomniac locked in September 15th of this year as the release date. Mark your calendars, bub. Claws out. Oh man. After the masterpiece that was Spider-Man 2, the fact that, and honestly more appropriately Spider-Man 1, the fact that they're taking their time on Logan makes this a lot more trustworthy this time around. This one's absolutely going to bleed. Our other follow-up this week is Warner Brothers Paramount. The merger is happening. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in the movie section, but it is affecting the gaming stuff as well. It is back on after Netflix has bailed, and it's got DC fans already bracing for the inevitable reboot of the reboot of the reboot. And also, we don't fully know what's going to happen on the gaming side of things, but it looks like things are going to get a little nuts. That is what we have for follow-ups and corrections. Let's talk now about trailers. We have Star Wars Galactic Racer is the only trailer we're talking about because it's the only freaking trailer that matters. Gameplay trailer is here, and it's pure chaos, made by the Criterion Burnout Legends. It's coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series consoles, and PC later this year. High-stakes arcade racer, just like the N64 pod racer, it would seem. There's a story campaign, there are no Jedi, there is no Force, just pure pod racing on steroids vibes. This is the Star Wars game I've been begging for since 1999, and the Star Wars game they've been teasing we would get since 1999. The runs-based structure means that every race can go sideways in all the best ways possible. Think burnout crashes, but you're dodging TIE fighters and exploding asteroids. I'm already clearing my schedule because this is definitely going to be one that is in my catalog. That's what we have for trailers. Let's talk about regular-ass news here in gaming. First up is Marvel Maximum Collection. This is technically older at this point, but I had to put it in here. Konami and Limited Run are bundling 13, count them 13, lucky number 13, classic X-Men and Marvel games, including X-Men Arcade, Maximum Carnage on the SNES, oh my god, you can't be serious, plus a bunch more. It is coming out for the Switch, PlayStation 5, I think Switch and Switch 2, I did not delineate in the notes, but I'm pretty sure it was both. PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles. Finally, you can rage quit the Silver Surfer in glorious 4K. Remember quarters? These games don't care about your feelings. They're here to eat your soul and laugh in 8 bits. It's just going to be chaos in the best kind of way. Hitman board game is the next piece we're talking about here in gaming and tech. IO Interactive just announced a board game version of full-on competitive multiplayer. Now you can ruin friendships in person instead of over the internet. Imagine passing the fiber wire card while everyone at the table side-eyes each other. This is peak chaos. It is going to be very interesting to see how this translates to board game structures. Then we have Stage Tour, which, if you don't know what that is, Guitar Hero's original creators are back with a spiritual successor to Guitar Hero. That's right. This fall of 2026, dust off those plastic axes We're getting the band back together, nerds. If they include the old note highways and maybe some new peripheral support, my garage is about to become a venue once again, or my basement, or wherever I end up actually putting my stuff. Sure, this is a tech piece. This is actually music and tech, but more tech than music. But sure, the microphone manufacturers have a new audio interface that plugs straight into your phone. It converts XLR microphones into a phone-compatible audio interface. It's freaking amazing. Perfect for recording your Why Star Wars is Dying podcast from the parking lot of Comic-Con. No more, can you hear me now? Just pure mobile metal riffs and hot takes. So this is honestly going to be one of those big game changers. Not that this is the first of its kind, but it's the first from sure. So you know it's going to be solid in its manufacture and its execution. That brings us to our suggestion for the week. Here in, we didn't have a music suggestion. Oh, I can't believe I skipped that, but whatever. That's where we're at right now. A suggestion for the week here in gaming and tech is Balatro. It's the card game. If you haven't played this poker roguelike yet, then you really must do it. It will ruin your life, your sleep schedule, and your ability to look at a deck of cards without seeing math, and in all of the best ways. Be prepared to lose an entire weekend and have it be absolutely worth every second. Go blind. Now we are in comic books and books, so welcome. Where nothing will ever be the same again is the mantra until the next reboot in 6 months, and then strap in because there's going to be another reboot in 6 months. Anyway, let's get to the news. Shall we, true believers? So, follow-ups and corrections. We have Warner Brothers Paramount. Like I said, we're talking about that merger in a lot of different places. Warner Brothers Paramount merger is causing chaos already in the DC offices. There are expected cancellations, delays, and at least 3 emergency Batman books to try and fix everything. That part is purely conjecture. The suit's probably already arguing over who gets to keep the Batmobile in the divorce. Our other follow-up is the DC Absolute event. This is a continuing event. Absolute Batman is kind of a must-read. If you haven't started, by all means, go for it now. Details are dropping about the big Absolute Universe crossover late this year. Big, loud, and probably ending with Batman punching something cosmic. Absolute Power was wild, and this one sounds like they're going even bigger. So, that leads us into our trailers section, which is kind of related because it's another new DC line, and that is DC Next Level. We have a trailer for it, fresh trailer for the Next Level initiative, flashy, bold, and it promises to, quote, change the hierarchy of power, or whatever the hell The Rock was talking about. If it's half as cool as the visuals, because these visuals look pretty dope, then we might actually have some new blood in the DCU, and there might be more stuff worth reading outside of the Absolute stuff. So yeah, for sure. Moving into regular-ass news, we have Avengers Armageddon. Marvel's next huge event drops this June. So they're trying to compete with the Absolute and the Next Level stuff over in DC. It is written by Chip Zdarsky. Red Hulk will be claiming Latveria for himself, so the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, and Wolverine have to team up. They're calling it Transformative Shakeup. Translation: someone important dies for maybe the next 2 fiscal quarters before they bring him back. Zdarsky's run on Daredevil was phenomenal, so if he brings even half of that energy here, then we are absolutely eating good here, nerds. All right, stop. Hammer time. Oh, wait, no. Subscribe time. All right, look. So the algorithm is beast. It demands a feast. So share the show. Help it grow. Hit the like or take a hike. Wait, don't leave. Subscribe to the channel or I'll be forced to rhyme orange with door hinge in the next video. You don't want that, and you don't want to miss out on all of the nerd news. So click the button and let's get back to it. Next up is an unsurprising piece of news. She-Hulk. Planet She-Hulk got canceled early. Go figure. Turns out Law & Order Space Unit wasn't exactly the hit that editorial thought it would be. Sometimes the fans speak and the mouse actually listens, for once. Then we have a really, really awesome piece on Hellraiser. We have the 40th anniversary, just announced brand new Hellraiser comic book to celebrate the 40th anniversary celebration, I guess. The Cenobites are back on the page. Puzzle Box is officially reopened, and we've been waiting decades to get hooked again. This is Clive Barker's original vision in the comic after 40 freaking years. It's pretty freaking awesome. This is the kind of anniversary gift that makes horror nerds like me ugly cry in the best ways. Then we have a little bit of a niche thing for the actual fiction nerds out there. Media Do, actually manga nerds, I guess more specifically. Media Do versus 7 Seas. Media Do has bought 7 Seas for roughly $80 million and is leaning hard into their AI translations. Because nothing says preserve the art like a robot that thinks the word senpai means senior citizen. So fun. Manga purists are already sharpening their pitchforks, but we shall see exactly what happens. Then our last piece here in comic books and books is IDW is rebooting has a new Star Trek. Words are a beautiful thing. Has a new Star Trek book. 2006 slate includes 60th anniversary special and a Starfleet Academy series, which might signal a bold new era, or more likely just a desperate attempt at franchise CPR. So place your bets. Either way, more Trek comics is never necessarily a bad thing. Let's hope that IDW can actually live long and prosper, right? That is what we have for regular ass news. Let's talk about our suggestion this week. Our suggestion, we've actually suggested this previously, but we're going to go again with Ultimate Spider-Man. Jonathan Hickman is absolutely cooking in the best ways with this Spidey run, rather. Peter's married, has kids, and plot twist, Uncle Ben is alive! Go read it. It is absolutely worth your time, unless, Marvel screws it up here sometime soon. Though, it is ending very soon, so maybe they won't. The family dynamic is so fresh, it actually feels like the character grew up for once, and that is real. Welcome to TV News, nerds, where we cancel shows you love and renew the ones you hate watch so that they can continue for 6 more seasons. Let's see who survived the chopping block this week. All right. So, follow-ups and corrections. We have a follow-up on the X-Files situation. We have an official casting announcement in that Danielle Deadwyler has joined the reboot. The truth is definitely out there, and apparently it can't let 90s properties rest in peace because, oh my god, why? It is Ryan Coogler. He's going to be the showrunner for this, so we should have expected something along these lines. Though it's not inherently bad from Jump Street, we still have to wait and see about that. But the last time they tried to replace Mulder and Scully, it did not work out so well for them. So we'll see how that goes this time. She is actually a pretty good actress. Curious to see if she can carry the skeptic energy that we got from Scully in the original. Then we have a couple of updates on the God of War situation. First up is Ed Skrein has officially been cast as Balder in the Amazon series. Dude played the villain in Deadpool, so he definitely already knows how to get punched by a snarky dad character. Baldur's unkillable rage. I have words in my mouth that are trying to come out. Baldur's unkillable rage in the games was terrifying. If Skrein nails the cocky, immortal vibe, then we are absolutely golden. But I know the piece that you want to talk about, and that is the backlash for that first look image of Ryan Hurst as Kratos. The internet has absolutely lost its mind, and I don't understand why. It's a production still. They have showed Kratos. They could have shown Kratos hugging a puppy, and people would have complained that the puppy wasn't shredded enough. This is absolutely, you have the original creator of the game, who's no longer associated with the franchise. He's not employed by them anymore, who is the biggest naysayer about this, saying that the picture looks awkward and so stupid, or something along those lines. And I don't understand why. Yes, the pose that Hurst is in is a little awkward, but otherwise he looks freaking fantastic as Kratos. This is damn near perfect look. What am I missing? I'm not a PlayStation guy. I have not played. I've only watched Let's Plays of the game, but still, what am I missing? Please, somebody fill me in the comments. That's what we have for follow-ups and corrections. Let's talk now about trailers, which there are none this week, so moving on. Either way, though, next week better deliver, because this is kind of garbage. Anyway, regular news for the TV section, we have the Acolyte has come to surface with what would have been season 2. Showrunner Leslie Headland has confirmed the cancellation of season 2 would have made Yoda, before canceling season 2 would have made Yoda straight up villainous. Would have had Yoda ignoring the Sith to protect the status quo. The internet, famous for calm Star Wars discourse, would have absolutely handled that perfectly, right? Wow, absolute bullet dodged on this one. That is absolutely ridiculous. Can you imagine the discourse if Yoda had been playing 4D chess with the dark side in some weird way? This is if you want a fabulous breakdown of modern writing and why it's bad, go check out the channel hosted by Greg Owen. The name of the channel is Greg Owen. He absolutely has at least half a dozen phenomenal video essays on the subject of modern writing and where those pitfalls come. The biggest one, and it's very evident here with The Acolyte, is self-insertion. A lot of modern writers and modern showrunners don't want to service the fan base. They don't want to do what makes sense for the story as a whole or the mythology that already exists. They simply want to insert themselves and craft the story and the mythology around what they want and not what already, like I said, already exists or the fans are expecting. So he's much more eloquent about it than I, so go check that out. Now, our next piece of regular ass news is Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano are fighting. Netflix has announced that the action will be May 16th. It is billed by the gaming community anyway, or the nerdy community, as Sonya Blade versus Cara Dune, because that's freaking awesome. It's going to be very, very, very entertaining. Two actual fighters throwing down is, yeah, I'm definitely buying some popcorn for this one. Then our final follow-up, or our final regular piece of news is Spider-Man Noir. Amazon's series is rated TV-14. It will feature Hammerhead and a number of other Spider-Man villains in its run. Nicolas Cage is about to chew so much scenery that he's going to need some Tums. Noir Spider-Man in live action is just going to be the smoky 1930s detective vibe that we've all kind of wanted for a long time, since the inception of the character, I believe. And then that puts us at our suggestion for the week. Suggestion is Shogun from FX. Drop everything, and go watch it. It is kind of like Game of Thrones set in feudal Japan, and writing that's actually good all the way through to the end, it would seem. Definitely still worth it. The political intrigue, the sword fights, the tension, everything we wanted from Westeros, but with better costumes and zero dragons. So it's and if you really, really want to get nerdy about it, go read the book, because the book is also phenomenal. I read that one a few years ago. Anyway, that is what we have for TV news, nerds. Welcome to the movie news, where the popcorn costs more than the tickets, and the guy behind you is definitely explaining the plot to his date. Let's see what was actually worth the $20 this week, shall we? So first up, we have Spider-Man, the Sony Spider-Man-less universe. Tom Rothman has announced that the spin-off universe is rebooting with quote-unquote brand new people. So rip Morbius, we hardly knew ye. At this point, Sony is just speed-running this let's try again montage, aren't they? Like, this is just absolutely ridiculous. And normies are just going to get lost, and they're going to be less inclined to watch. It's just bad marketing all around. So next on the follow-ups list for movies is Dune 3. This is kind of a little follow-up, but it's significant in a way that Dune 3 just stole an exclusive IMAX opening weekend from Avengers freaking Doomsday. The spice must flow, and so must those ticket sales. This is going to give Dune 3 a big leg up over the Avengers, because the Avengers will not be in IMAX, only Dune will. But it kind of makes sense, because Denis Villeneuve is a genius. He does not miss, and the visuals are going to be a feast for your eyes on this one. That is what we got there. Let's talk about our last one. Again, talking about that, the merger with Paramount. Paramount finally won the bidding war for Warner Bros. Discovery, because what we really needed was mega corporation owning all of our childhoods. Actually, this is the best of all options. I think the fact that it is another movie studio, proper movie studio, that is buying Warner Brothers, not only means that They're buying all of the company and not just the streaming services and then select few other elements, but they're buying everything, which means that they're going to be putting money into everything, presumably. And they've said that they're going to start leaning into their familiar franchises, which means good things if you're a Mortal Kombat fan. The boardroom is probably just a bunch of guys in suits arguing over who gets the Batman IP this quarter. That is not entirely wrong. Trailers this week, we have Mortal Kombat 2. I did a full, proper breakdown of this trailer, so go check that out again on the main channel if you are watching this in the Clips channel. But either way, the trailer is here, and it is freaking awesome. Karl Urban's Johnny Cage looks gloriously washed up. Martyn Ford's Shao Kahn looks like he ate a freaking tank for breakfast, and the tournament is actually happening, and I cannot be more pleased. Tana, Jade, Baraka, they're all here. May 8th cannot come soon enough. So the fatalities in the trailer actually look not bad. The kind of brief glimpses of what could be fatalities that we get. If the movie matches the energy of this trailer, we're getting the Mortal Kombat we deserve the first time, because that last movie was not. Anyway, I go in, again, great detail in the reaction video. Next up is one that is a long time in the making. That is the Backrooms. A24's trailer has finally freaking dropped. It's a teaser trailer, so it's very, very short, but it is actually properly unsettling. It is starring Chiwetel Ejiofor. It is a liminal horror movie, because that's what the videos were as well. May 29th is when it is getting released. Looks exactly like my nightmares after I drink far too much Mountain Dew. If you've ever fallen through the internet into the yellow wallpaper hell, then you absolutely know what to expect, and this one is for sure for you. And if you're just looking for a really creepy time, I think that's also going to be a draw for anyone who's unfamiliar with the Backrooms. If you also just really want to go down a twisted YouTube rabbit hole, go check out the YouTube page. Anyway, Mandalorian and Grogu is our next trailer. Finally, a new trailer, new Razor Chest, Zeb Aurelios, and explosions. I hate to say it because a lot of you are probably going to hang me out to dry for this, but this is absolutely the way. Baby Yoda's getting a little bit bigger, and the stakes are getting higher. They might actually be freaking stakes this time. It looks so hype. Anyway, it's going to be great. Go check out the trailers that we've talked about here. Regular ass news this week, we have Robert Carradine starting on actually we have a couple of down pieces, but we're going to start first with Robert Carradine. Revenge of the Nerds legend, passed away at 71, so definitely pour one out for Skolnick. The guy basically invented the lovable dork who gets the girl trope for an entire generation. The means through which he lost his life are incredibly tragic. He's been battling, I believe it was psychological issues for some time, and it seems that the demons won. So, absolutely, we're going to take a moment for Robert Carradine. This is a sad day.
Star Wars, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. The Sound of Music. In the tradition of these great films about fighting back against the odds, 20th Century Fox presents another milestone in motion picture history. Revenge of the Nerds.
Nerds?
Nerds. Nerds!
What is a nerd?
They've been laughed at, picked on,
There's a roommate, pal!
and put down.
I'm not kissing a nerd.
They don't have the moves or the muscle,
You know karate? No. Good.
but they've got the brains.
I know what we're gonna do.
It's time for the odd to get even.
Their action tonight demands an immediate retaliation. How many cameras do we have left?
This should do it.
Oh, here she comes. Go up, go up. Oh, no. Oh!
That nerd saw me naked.
Nerds!
Are all nerds as good as you?
Revenge of the Nerds. Their time has come.
I drink to that.
Next up, like I said, kind of two downer pieces. Bruce Campbell. He's not passed, but he has announced that he has been diagnosed with some form of cancer. I did not see what kind of cancer it was, but it is definitely cancer. He has made it known that the cancer that he has is not a curable form, but it is very much treatable. So he plans on sticking around for some time yet, he says. He's canceling cons so that he can go fight it. So hail to the king, baby. You've got this, Ash. We know that you can handle this, Mr. Campbell. Ash Williams himself is tougher than any Deadite, and we're all rooting for you, Bruce. That being said, let's get to some actual not so bad news. We have animated Venom movie. This one's a little bit old as well, but we're talking about it anyway. Animated Venom movie. Tom Hardy is producing it. They are going for an R rating rather. Finally, we get to see him eat the brains without the PG-13 cutaways. Symbiote chaos in cartoon form. Sign me up. Let's do this. Heat 2, the movie that we didn't realize we actually needed, is being made. We talked about this previously. Now they have officially announced that Christian Bale has been cast. Michael Mann, Christian Bale together in fast cars. Just kind of take my money already, because Christian Bale is always a win. Michael Mann is usually a win, and the original Heat is a masterpiece. This sequel is going to be potentially legendary, but time will only tell on that one, I think. Next is a new Lincoln movie. Tom Hanks is going to be playing Abraham Lincoln in a live action movie that apparently is going to have some sort of stop motion elements to it as well, which I find very interesting. But this is just crazy because obviously Tom Hanks doesn't have enough Oscars yet. So it sounds completely insane, but I'm definitely invested because in spite of his politics, Tom Hanks is kind of always a win as well. And then our last piece of regular ass news is Sonic 4 is greenlit, is going into filming already, and they just announced that Ben Kingsley has been cast for something. We don't know what. Is he going to be the villain for the movie? Is he going to be the voice of a Chow? I don't know. But I'm still pretty hyped about it because Shadow was pretty awesome in number 3, and if they keep this momentum, then 4 will potentially be the best one yet. So that being said, let's move into our suggestion for this week. Another one that we have definitely recommended once before, but it has been a little while, so let's talk about Late Night with the Devil. It is streaming, I believe, on Tubi right now, so you can watch it for free, unless I'm mistaken, which I very well could be, but I'm pretty sure I saw it on Tubi at least a couple of weeks ago. It is creepy 70s talk show horror that will definitely haunt your sleep. It's very highly recommended, very, very highly recommended. The ending kind of doesn't really stick the landing so much, but still, the practical effects on that one scene, you know which one scene I'm talking about, just watch it. You'll thank me at 3 a.m. when you can't turn the lights off.
Maybe. It's classified.
And then that puts us at the Rumor Mill, nerds. So welcome back to the Rumor Mill, where we take the internet lies, wrap them in tinfoil, and serve them to you as the truth. So grab your salt shakers and your W, which I don't have my W right here. Oh no, it was in here. I just don't have my W shaker right now. Either way, let's get into it. So confirmations, reputations. We have a refutation for a rumor that honestly we haven't covered because it's been like a month or more since it's been like 3 months almost since we did a proper rumor mill section, and so we did not cover this. But Henry Cavill supposedly coming to Westeros has been debunked. The cast has said that it was a complete misunderstanding, so put your Witcher swords away, folks. The internet ran with this for like 2 days, and it's been shot down already. So next, we're moving into new rumors. We don't have any new sources for old rumors. This is all just new rumors. But first up, we have Game of Thrones. HBO is reportedly developing a movie about Aegon's conquest with Beau Willimon, I believe is how you say that name, on the writer's desk. Dragon's conquest, Targaryen supremacy, likelihood that this is happening, we're going to put this one at about 55%. HBO definitely loves money, dragons print money, and they also love canceling things just for fun, but this would kind of make up for the fact that they rushed those last 2.5 seasons, hopefully. Imagine the budget on those 3 dragons alone. If in this movie, this could be the prequel that we actually freaking deserve and make up for the fact that while it is still pretty good, House of the Dragon is not delivering on its promises. Next up in rumors, we have an Xbox handheld. This one's weird. Dedicated handheld rumored to be coming out this year. Likelihood of this one I'm putting at 30% because really, they can barely move consoles right now. So sure, let's make a Game Boy, right? Like that just doesn't make sense. If though it plays Game Pass on the go without melting, then maybe there's going to be a little bit of room for this console on the market. But I don't see that happening right now. Quick interruption. If you don't hit the like and subscribe right now, the future scientists harvesting my memories will think nobody cares about us. Do you want to be responsible for a gap in the historical record? I don't think so. So, share this show with a friend or an enemy. I don't care. Just hype the video so my existence is validated by the metrics. Our next rumor has to do with James Bond, and of course, all of the rumors are flowing on the new James Bond movie, but Amazon allegedly wants Emma Corrin, that's right, Professor X's sister, Emma Corrin, to be the Bond girl in the next James Bond movie. Really? The internet is handling this one with its usual calm demeanor, which for good reason, obviously. Likelihood for this one, I think, is about 70%. As much as I don't want it to be that high, I legitimately think that they are eyeing her. There's no way for us to confirm this, though, so it's going to be very difficult, unless they actually cast her. But she is one of the new It faces right now in Hollywood, right? So we're going to put this about 70% likely. It's pretty high. 70% likely that they're actually doing this. Amazon really does love stirring the pot. Jeff Bezos is not one to shy away from woke stuff. And I just can't wait for this casting announcement to be officially announced so that we can sit back and watch the discourse with a bucket of popcorn. Next, we have a G.I. Joe rumor. There is reportedly a throwback 80s style live action movie rumored in development over at Paramount. It is supposedly going to be gearing towards the atmosphere of the 80s cartoon. So it's going to be big and bold and kind of a riff on 80s action movies, it would seem. A likelihood for this one, I'm going to put right down the middle. We're going to say about 50% likely, because nostalgia is definitely one hell of a drug. Paramount really needs a win after buying Warner Brothers, rather. And Cobra versus Joe, that is a classic cartoon action moment that my inner 12-year-old is going to pee himself if it actually hits the big screen. So yeah, there's a lot on both sides. We'll see what happens. God of War. We have a new rumor about God of War. And actually, depending on the source, because a couple of different places are reporting on this, but either way, the rumor boils down to there's a new game in the works. The thing that the sources disagree on is who the protagonist is going to be for the game. Both sources say that it is not going to be Kratos. One area is saying that Atreus, the kid, is going to be the primary antagonist, and then the other source is saying that it's going to be one of the female characters whose name definitely escapes me, and for whatever reason did not make it into the notes, because, say it with me, class, I take amazing notes. That's correct. But yes, so the boys got to leave the nest sometime. Likelihood on this one for there being a new God of War game that does not feature Kratos as the protagonist, I'm going to say about 70%. We rarely get video game rumors that are that far off. I mean, after Ragnarok, Atreus has his own story, that's for sure. That would be definitely one that would sell tickets, or sell units rather. So I think there's a decent reason to believe that that's happening. And then our final regular rumor for this episode has to do with Avengers Doomsday. We have plot leaks that are mentioning high security scenes with Doctor Doom, or rather, Sorcerer Supreme. Oh, brain fart. Doctor Strange, there we go. Good Lord. Doctor Strange, we have Doctor Strange rumored to be on set because Benedict Cumberbatch just is always a win. I'm a huge Cumberbitch. But yeah, so we have rumored scenes of him, in spite of him saying he's not going to be in Doomsday. There have been rumors floating around that he was in very high security situation where they were trying to keep it as far under wraps as possible. The likelihood for this is about 70%. If you go back and read the interview where he denies being in this, Cumberbatch is very specific with his words and leaves open the possibility that maybe he's misleading us, and maybe, just maybe, it is a different version of his character or a different kind of character altogether. But either way, so yeah, I'm saying 70% likely on this one. Marvel, it is just kind of horrible at securing leaks, so it seems that this is going to be the case. That being said, I have a little bit of speculation of my own. I speculate that within the next 3 years, Disney is going to buy the concept of Thursdays and put it behind a paywall. You want to experience the day before Friday? That'll be $12.99 a month, please. Change my mind. All of that, and then we have our housekeeping for the episode. So, housekeeping! While I can't say that everything went as planned, this change definitely happened, which means the channel is once again active. Thank you very much. I'm super stoked to be back. Thank you for joining me. We will slowly be rolling back into regular content. As my personal life starts to settle, we will get things rolling, much like I said we would previously. It's just going to take a little bit longer because everything went to chaos. It will be slow rollout. I am going to be getting the second channel a little bit more love, and also the political channel a little bit more love, because I'm just more capable right now, even with the chaos. So as things start to go that direction, you will definitely be seeing a lot more of my face. So thank you very much, nerds. That brings us to the end of the episode. I'm so glad you joined me. I have to go explain. I'm not going to do this silly sign-off that I wrote. It was a bad attempt at a joke. Either way, I'm super happy to be back. Thank you very much, nerds, for joining me. Before we go, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here, and I will see you in that comments section, nerds.